Hey everyone, it's Riley. So, as promised in my last video that I made about my sister's hamster Olive, today I'm updating Crookshanks' introduction video because it's old and very bad quality. I actually watched it again recently and it was worse than I thought, which I didn't even think was possible. So, with that said, let's get right into the video. This hamster here is my Syrian hamster Crookshanks, and he's actually the first Syrian hamster I've owned. He's around 11 months old, which seems absolutely crazy to me that I've already owned him for 8 months. Time just flies with hamsters, honestly. I got him in November of 2021, which was about 4 months after my hamster Elfie passed in early July of that year. And at that point, I just really missed owning a hamster, as well as me and my dad finished building a very large DIY cage around that time, so I got Crookshanks. So this is Crookshanks' enclosure, and it is a DIY like I mentioned earlier. It measures 1,150 square inches of floor space, and it takes up 8 square feet of my room, but I'm not complaining because my hamster is happy. He has always lived in this cage, so he's always had pretty good care. This is his current setup, and I really like how it looks, but what matters more is that Crookshanks likes it, and he does seem to. I've just really tried to give him multiple hiding areas, toys, and enrichment. He's got different substrates. He has paper bedding, aspen bedding, and then there's a sand bath in there. I just try to give him multiple things to do, and I hope that I've done a good job. That weird cardboard box thingy on the left is actually a multi-chamber hideout that I made for him that he absolutely loves, and he hides all his food in it. He's got 10 inches of bedding on the right side of the cage, and then on the left side of the cage he has 3 inches of bedding. Here's some really cute footage that I have of Crookshanks a few days after we got him, and since he was my first Syrian hamster, I was pretty scared to do the whole taming process. I've been bitten by Syrian hamsters in the past that weren't mine, and hamster bites hurt, and Syrians are pretty strong hamsters, so I was really scared to get bit by one. Not trying to throw anybody off from owning Syrian hamsters because they're awesome, but it was just a personal thing. I was scared of being bit. Fortunately, the worst thing Crookshanks has ever done is just nibbled my finger, which didn't hurt at all, so there was really no reason to be scared. But when I brought Crookshanks home, he was just extremely jumpy and so skittish and super scared. If I tried to pick him up, he would squirm and jump out of my hands when I least expected it, so I was just thinking that I would have to deal with this and that he would really never be tamed. But somehow, practicing luring him onto my hand with a treat and just doing this often, he was tamed within like 3 weeks, which honestly felt like an eternity at the time. I think another thing that helps me bond with him was a snuggle sack thing that I made. He would calm down enough to just sit in it and let me pet him, and he even fell asleep in it a couple times, which was really cool to see. Eventually he got calm enough to sleep in my hoodie pocket, which he doesn't do now, but it was just really awesome that he did that back then. So now he is completely fine with being picked up. He climbs onto my hand, and whether he sees me as a means of escape or if he actually likes being held, I don't really care because I just really enjoy the fact that he's just such a nice hamster and that he was even able to be tamed. One thing I find so cool about all hamsters in general is that even though they're small, they each have their own little personalities. Since getting Crookshanks, I've really got to enjoy his silly personality. He's really fun to watch in his cage because even though he's just doing his natural hamster thing, I find it funny, like right here in this clip where he is swinging from a toy that I made him. He's not necessarily the smartest hamster, so sometimes he does kind of dumb things, and it's fun to watch. This might just be me because he's my hamster, but I think Crookshanks is pretty funny. For anyone who doesn't know, if you're wondering why I chose such a weird name for Crookshanks, his name is actually inspired by a cat in the Harry Potter series, whose name is Crookshanks, and he's got orange fur just like my hamster, so that's where I got the name from. I'm just a really big Harry Potter nerd, and I wanted him to have a name from the series. I had actually been planning to name my next hamster a Harry Potter name for a very long time, so I just named him Crookshanks. So far, owning Crookshanks has been a very great experience, especially as my first Syrian hamster, and also for the fact that he is super nice and I can interact with him a bunch. Even though Crookshanks hasn't even reached a full year old yet, I'm hoping he lives a nice long life and I can enjoy owning him for as long as I can. But I think that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much for watching.